I'm done rambling. Starting at number 30. We got the Chicago White Sox. Listen, not much going on with the White Sox. They did sign Tommy Pham. Did anyone see the news? Tommy Pham, new Chicago White Sox. I mean, who would have thought Tommy Pham would be going to the White Sox on April 14th? My goodness. Anyway, that was news. But swept by the Reds, losing 2 out of 3 to the Guardians this week. Gavin Sheets is hitting well. That's pretty much it. Garrett Crochet is pitching well this year. Did have a pretty rocky start against the Reds his last time out. But overall, he's pitching really well. 3.57 ERA. FIP is lower than the ERA, so I like that. 12 strikeouts per 9. But other than that, not really anything going on with the Chicago White Sox. At number 29, I had the Marlins at number 30. And you know what? The White Sox, they just said, you know what? Hold my beer. We're going to play worse than you, and I really thought the Marlins were going to be 30 here for me, but you know what? I bumped them up just a smidge because at least, you know, they won a couple of games this week against the Yankees and the Braves. But Marcell Ozuna today, 3-run home run, broke the hearts of Marlins fans all across the land. Listen, the Marlins offense stinks. They're last in WRC+. They're bottom 5 in starting pitching and relief pitching. Defense is terrible. Fire sale needs to happen for the Marlins. I called it coming into this season. I didn't like the way the Marlins looked. They had a lot of injuries. Jim, how you doing, my friend? A lot of injuries with the Marlins rotation. You know, I just saw a bad year for the Marlins coming in. And, you know, Peter Bendix, new guy running the show. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity to really sell off a lot of those pieces. And good news, everyone. Speaking of the Marlins, I'm actually doing a video right now. I'm hoping to have it done by tomorrow night, so make sure you tuned in. I'm going to do a fire sale for the Marlins. I've come up with a whole bunch of trades for the Marlins and, you know, to help them rebuild. So Peter Bendix, if you're watching this, hey, maybe take a look at some of the ideas that I came up with. But everyone, stay tuned for that. But yeah, the Marlins, they stink too. At number 28, we got the Rockies, losing 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks and the Blue Jays. They rank poorly in offense and in the pitching. Ryan Feltner, this was a guy I was, you know, a little intrigued about with the Rockies. You know, when it comes to pitching, you don't really think of a lot with the Rockies. But Ryan Feltner, this is a guy who got hurt last year, but he did show some promise a couple of times. And he looked all right against the Blue Jays this past weekend. Brenton Doyle, McMahon, Rogers, Elias Diaz. These guys have been hitting well. But there's not enough pitching with this team. You know, Justin Lawrence had a tough outing this past week. Chris Bryant. My goodness, is Chris Bryant going to go down as one of the worst signings of all time? I mean, what a bust of a signing this is. This guy's already having a bad back. He got booed out of the building this past week, and now he's got a bad back already. What's going on here? I don't know. You know, I'm actually shocked. You know what? This might be a little low. But remember, it's early, okay? It's very early. I guarantee I'm going to tick some people off with this one. I already know it. I can see it. I can smell it. Nope, that's probably me. But this team stinks right now. I can't believe I have this team this low. I got the Mariners at number 27. What is going on with this team? Gilbert's been all right in the rotation, but Castillo, Kirby, they're off to cold starts. Offense is completely in the gutter. They're 28th in WRC+. Haniger and Riley, they've been okay, but J-Rod, JP, Garver, ice cold. I mean, what's going on here? This offense stinks. I can't believe this. I mean, the ERA for the bullpen has been all right, but they're 21st in FIP. The defense is 25th. And we all want to talk about the offense, but the defense stinks. What is going on with this team? They're off to a terrible start. They will go higher, right? Mariners fans, cool it in the comments, cool it in the chat if you are getting upset at me. They will be higher than this, but listen, it's April 14th. This is why I don't like to start this early, because I'm going off of numbers mostly, but I'm also going off of feel. And the Mariners are just playing bad baseball right now, and I just can't put some of these other teams over them based off of the results. So Mariners fans, if you're upset at me, I'm sorry. I don't know. Number 26, I got the Nationals. We'll talk about the Oakland A's in just a little bit, but losing 2 out of 3 to Oakland this week, did win 2 out of 3 against the Giants. Their starting pitching has actually been okay. Their FIP ranks 11th right now. Mackenzie Gore, 11 strikeouts over 5 innings against the A's the other night. That's pretty good. Trevor Williams, he pitched pretty well against the Giants. Jesse Winker right now is going off. I mean, Jesse Winker. Does anyone realize what Jesse Winker is doing right now? He's hitting .341 with a .482 on base and a .500 slugging, 4 doubles, has a home run, and 44 ABs. He went 4 for 4 with a homer on Friday. Is Jesse Winker back? Can we please have Jesse Winker back? I need that in my life. But hey, the Nationals, you know what? They're not playing terrible, right? Number 25, I actually saw a comment. I saw a comment in the chat, and I'm so sorry. Someone said, please don't be tough on my Cardinals. I'm sorry. I had to put the Cardinals at 25. Losing 2 out of 3 to the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. The offense has been slumping. Minus a 9-run game on Friday. Arenado going deep for the first time. Lars Nootbaar going deep as well. But overall, the offense is 22nd in WRC plus right now. Sonny Gray on the pitching side of things. He did make his debut. 5 innings, 0 earned in a win against the Phillies. Overall, the ERA for the starters is 14th coming into today, but they're 28th in FIP. So, not sure where that pitching is going necessarily. Michaelis got rocked today. Gibson 4 earned over 6 against the D-backs. Not terrible by any means. Lynn, Matz, they've been all right. But again, the FIP doesn't like them very much. The bullpen's been pretty good. So, or at least they're 8th in FIP right now. I'm going to use FIP a lot. I told you, I'm a big FIP guy. But the Cardinals, I don't know, just kind of I don't know. Jim, if you're here with me, I'm sure Jim loves where I have the Cardinals right now. Jim is probably dancing wherever he is right now. Number 24, the Angels. Hey, just got a nice helping of the Angels this past weekend. I'm getting a lot of helping of the Angels lately. The Red Sox just own the Angels. I don't know what it is. We just like playing the Angels. Go back to all those years in the playoffs, minus 2009. We just own the Angels. I don't know what it is. Am I going to jinx everything right now? But L.A. losing 2 out of 3 to the Rays and the Red Sox. I almost said Tim Anderson. Tyler Anderson got knocked around a little bit today. Had a great start against the Rays last time out. Reed Detmers absolutely shut down my Red Sox the other night. I'm a big Reed Detmers guy. I loved what he was doing in college, and when he got drafted, I'm thinking this guy's going to be good. And I loved when the Angels drafted him because they needed pitching. And I think you are starting to see Reed Detmers emerge. I really do think he's taking that step. But listen, Mike Trout, love what Mike Trout's doing right now. Absolutely love it. My goodness, this is the Mike Trout that we all know and love. When he's healthy, he's fun to watch. Right now, he's hitting .281, OPS over 1,000, 6 home runs, had a 193 WRC plus coming into today, made a diving catch today, ran the bases really well today. Love me some Mike Trout right now. I mean, we all love Mike Trout, right? We just want the guy to be healthy, right? How about Anthony Rendon? Ever since he got a standing ovation for legging out an infield grounder, he has been off the charts. Anthony Rendon, everyone, I think might be back. Am I getting ahead of myself? Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Is Anthony Rendon back? He is hitting since that standing ovation, or at least over the last 7 games, but he's hitting really well since he got that standing O. In the last 7 games, he's hitting .379 with a .424 on base and a .448 slugging. I'm just saying, man. Rendon's hitting really well. Let's see if he can keep this going. Bullpen has been a bit of an issue. They were not very good today against my Red Sox, so... Listen, if Rendon's back, hey, I do want the guy to play well. I just don't like the comments he makes when he's not playing well, right? Number 23. We got the Oakland A's. Who would have thought the Oakland A's, soon to be the Sacramento A's, would be in the number 23 spot? I love this. I love it. Love it. I absolutely love this. Right? I mean, they're playing well. They're playing good baseball. And when I'm crunching my numbers before I get all this going, hey, the numbers are on their side as well, right? I mean, they're not one of the top teams in the league, but I think this is a fair spot for them at number 23. They've won 3 straight series now against the Nationals, the Rangers, and the Tigers. Their starting pitching has actually been pretty good. J.P. Sears had a no-hitter going against the Rangers the other night. Paul Blackburn pitched really well against the Nationals. Joe Boyle also pitched well against the Nationals. One guy that I had my eye on coming into this year was Mason Miller. Mason Miller, this is a guy, he's got a ton of potential, but they're easing him back, into being a starter. They're going to have him in the bullpen this year. He got Tommy John, I believe, a couple of years ago, and they're easing him back in. And this guy's electric, and they have him in the closer role, and he has been dynamite. He's been dynamite. He looked great today. So far this year for Mason Miller, and they're letting him go too, man. They're letting him pitch. 8 innings, 15 strikeouts, 3 saves already, ERA at a 2.25. Mason Miller's the real deal. Love what the A's are doing right now. Hey, you know what? They could fall off the face of the planet next week, but hey, you know what? I like that these guys they're going out there and they're playing hard, right? I thought this team was just gonna roll over, right? Because it's like, well, okay, they're going to Sacramento, right? It's like, what's even the point? But you know what? I like this, and I wonder if this could end up being a good story, right? I mean, could you imagine? Like, let's be real here. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you never know what happens in baseball. Listen, if the Oakland A's, if they have themselves a good season this year, and dare I say, maybe even somehow they're hanging around, I don't think they will be, but if they do, what a story that would be. You all know that would be cinema. That's the word these days, cinema, right? That would be cinema. If the Oakland A's actually can compete this year, that would be amazing. Number 22, we got the Giants. What the heck's going on with the Giants? Talking about the Mariners earlier. The Giants, here's what I think about the Giants. I think they brought in all these guys, right? They had some late signings, Max Chapman, Blake Snell. Oh, Blake Snell looked terrible today. I feel like this Giants team, they need a little time to kind of come together, right? But they're not playing good baseball, losing 2 out of 3 of the Nationals and the Rays this week. The offense, they're up and down, right? You got guys like Lamont Wade, Estrada, Soler, even Lee is starting to hit pretty well. But you got a lot of guys slumping too. A lot of guys that should be contributing. Chapman, Yastrzemski, right? A lot of guys just not really coming through right now. It's early, right? It's April 14th, but offense is definitely up and down right now. Blake Snell made his debut against the Nationals this past week. He only pitched 3 innings, and he went back home today to Tampa Bay. My goodness, he got rocked. 4 innings, 7 earned, 2 home runs allowed. Blake Snell, my goodness. This is what happens when you sign late. You should have taken the offer with the Yankees, my friend. I'm just saying. Jordan Hicks, he continues to look pretty good, though. Logan Webb, Kyle Harrison, they pitched pretty well this past week. It just feels like this team's out of sync right now. I think they will be fine, but I think the Giants, they're just kind of, they're in la-la land right now. Wow, how about the Houston Astros? Listen, I'll give them some credit. They came out in a rivalry series this weekend, and they played some ball, right? They look good, but they got just banged up by the Royals this past week. Goodness gracious. The Royals took them to town, took their lunch money, bought lunch in front of them, and ate lunch with the Astros lunch money in front of the Astros. That's how bad the Royals beat them down. Yeah, the Astros are off to a horrible start. You always hear the term World Series hangover. It feels like they're having a World Series hangover, and they didn't even make the World Series, right? Well, they were 1 win away, but they just feel like they're off to I don't know. They just seem like out of sorts, right? You do got a new manager. I don't know how much that really goes into it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. He's been with the Astros, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, really. The offense, though, listen, I will say this with the Astros. The offense is still very promising. The numbers are on their side. They're second. They were second in WRC plus coming into today, believe it or not. Alvarez, Altuve, they've been mashing. Tucker is starting to heat up. Had a couple of home runs, 6 RBIs this past weekend. So Kyle Tucker, just watch him go, man. He's going to get going. Starting pitching, it's up and down, but you getting like Ronel Blanco throwing like freaking no-hitters every time he comes out. Christian Javier, he looks solid today, 7 innings, 2 earned. They just need these other guys to step up. They need Verlander to come back. So bullpen, which was supposed to be a strength coming in, it's not cohesive right now. These guys they all seem like they're off their game, right? The bullpen is only 24th in FIP. Defense, 15th overall. So, the Astros are going to be fine. But again, it's April 14th. This is where they're at for me. Honestly, when I crunched all my numbers, the Astros were actually higher on this list, but just because of the terrible start they got off to, I had to bump them down. So, everyone, before I move on to the next tier, if you can, all I ask is just hit that like button for me. Hit the bell notification. That way you know I go live every single time for Power Rankings or whatever else. Share the show. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get to the next tier. Moving on to number 20. The Minnesota Twins. I had a bit of a tough time placing them this week. Had them up higher a bit. Then I was like, I feel like, I don't know. There's some of these other teams I felt like made a bit of a better case to be up. I could see the Twins being higher here. So let me know. Do you think this is too low for the Twins? Do you think is this too high? I think it feels right to me. I could be wrong though. Let me know in the chat. Do you think they should be up higher? But the reason I have them at number 20, they did split with the Tigers this weekend, losing 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers. Tyler Glasnow, I'm talking about taking people's lunch money and then buying lunch and eating it in front of them. Tyler Glasnow did that to the Twins this past week. My goodness, that guy took them to town. We'll talk about Glasnow a little bit later. But the offense right now, they're just not gelling. The pitching is not gelling. Jeffers and Julian, they have been hitting well. Jeffers with a couple of RBIs today. Austin Martin, he was called up after the Royce Lewis injury. He's been hitting okay since coming up. Christian Vasquez, first home run of the year. But everyone else is slumping right now. You're just not really getting the big bats coming through. Carlos Correa going on the IL with an oblique strain. Bailey Ober, he looked all right against the Tigers today. 6+ innings. He retired 14 straight at one point. I don't know. Just something with the Twins. They just feel tired. Not like... I feel tired about the Twins. Like, there's just something that's not clicking for me. I do feel like they'll get hot at some point. At number 19, got the Blue Jays. Also, I had a bit of a hard time. To be honest with you, it's so early. I had a bit of a hard time with pretty much the entire power rankings because, like, some of it felt so dumb, and then some of it was like, okay, this feels right, and then there are other teams where I'm like, I don't know, like this feels too high or too low. I don't know. So I settled on 19 for the Blue Jays. Stat-wise, when I crunch the numbers, they are lower than this, right? They do rank low, but they are starting to pick it up a little bit. Number 19 at the Blue Jays, winning 2 out of 3 against the Rockies and the Mariners this week. The starting pitching as a whole doesn't rank very well in FIP. A big part of that was Kevin Gausman. He got absolutely shellacked the other night against the Rockies. 6 earned, 3 2/3 innings, 10 hits. But Barrios today, my goodness, Jose Barrios, have yourself some ice cream tonight, my friend, because you looked quite dandy. My goodness. Goodness gracious. 7 innings, 7 Ks against the Rockies. Yariel Rodriguez called up, and he made his debut against the Rockies, 3 2/3, 6 Ks, earned run. Hey, Yariel Rodriguez looking good. Jose Kikuchi, he looked pretty good against the Mariners. 6 innings, 1 earned, 9 Ks. Alek Manoah could be close, 3 1/3, 78 pitches on a rehab start today. So Yeah, I see you in the chat, the MLB channel. There's something wrong with Gausman. Does anyone else feel that way? Let me know in the chat. Do you think Kevin Gausman is doing all right? I don't know, right? Because you heard all the stuff about his shoulder in spring training. You're seeing all these injuries right now with these pictures. Let me know in the chat. Do you feel confident about Gausman's health right now? I don't know, man. I don't know. Something feels off, man. He doesn't have starts like that. He doesn't get hit that bad. I know it's it's the Rockies, right? But I don't know. I feel like maybe another start or two. Let's see. Number 18 at the Rays. Another tough team for me. Starting this off, right? The Rays are the Rays. They're always going to find a way. But right now, I don't know. They're not really clicking so much for me right now. They did have a good week, right? They were just kind of up and down, right, through that first week and a half. Did have a couple of good series this week. Again, teed off on their old friend Blake Snell, winning 2 out of 3 against the Angels. The offense is doing well. 12th in WRC+. Rene Pinto with a couple of home runs. Jose Siri, Jose Caballero, they're hitting well. Brandon Lau, another strained oblique guy here. Brandon Lau, man, this guy just cannot catch a break. Can't catch a break. He's always got something going on. Starting pitching, it's a little up and down right now. Tyler Alexander, he didn't start the game today. They had an opener for today, but he came out of the bullpen. A couple of rocky appearances before today, but he looked really good today. 6 innings, 2 earned. Pepio, that was the big piece they got back in the Glasnow trade. He looked okay against the Giants. 5 innings, 4 earned. Eflin, though, he got knocked around by the Angels. Savali was okay against them. 5 innings, 2 earned. I don't know. The Rays are just... I just feel like they're not hitting their stride right now. Maybe it's... Am I thinking of last year? Remember how good the Rays were in the beginning of the year last year? Remember everyone was like thinking, wow, this is going to be like the greatest team ever. They're finally going to win a World Series this year. And do you remember that? Like they got off to like the best start or one of the best starts in history. And I'm thinking, hold the phone, everyone. We've had teams make these kind of, starts before. I'm going blank. I think it was a Brewers team from the 80s and maybe a Brewers team from the 90s, and it was a Mets team, a Braves team from the 80s. They had gone off to similar starts, and then I think one of them didn't even make the playoffs, and another one got knocked out in like the first round. So, I don't know, maybe it's like that. Maybe the Rays just aren't giving me that same juice to start this year. I don't know. But usually the Rays, they get it together. How about the Mets? 2 out of 3 against the Braves. How about that? Rivalry series taking 2 out of 3. And let's get back to the lunch money quote. They took all of the Braves' lunch money. 16 runs on Thursday? Are you kidding me? Holy cow. They kicked the crap out of the Braves in that game. And then winning 2 out of 3 against the Royals. And we'll talk about the Royals later on. But hey, gotta love it, man. You know what? The Mets, I said coming into this year, look, I think this Mets team can hang around. Haven't even gotten JD Martinez back yet. And this the Mets offense, right now, it's looking pretty good. Pete Alonso is hitting the crap out of the ball right now. 4 home runs in his last 7 games. Pete Alonso, have yourself some ice cream tonight, my friend. Brandon Nimmo is looking pretty solid. Tyrone Taylor, DJ Stewart, these guys are mashing. Starling Marte with a home run this past week. Harrison Bader's looking all right. Brett Beatty from April 5th to April 12th. I don't think he played today. I think he rode the pine today. But wow, he was hitting 387 with a 127 WRC plus during that time from April 5th to April 12th. Gotta love that. Brett Beatty finally starting to show his potential. Starting pitching is a bit up and down, though, right now with the Mets. Budo, he struck out 9 Royals over 6 scoreless innings today. Quintana Severino, they're pitched all right this past week. Sean Manaea, he got absolutely taken to town by the Royals. But, hey, you know what? I'm okay with the Mets at number 17. I guarantee you I'll get some grumpy Phillies fan or Braves fan saying they're too high. I don't know. I'll go with the Mets at 17. Number 16, got the Tigers. Split 2 with the Pirates, split 4 with the Twins. Weird. I just want to bring this up too. Had a weird situation. I believe it was yesterday. Zach McKinstry, he made an error, right? 3 runs scored on that error. Then, because they were running low on pitching, he came in to pitch. And then he gave up a 3-run home run to Matt Wallner. So Zach McKinstry was at fault for 6 runs. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That was interesting. Javier Baez homered today. I mean, that's got to be a call for celebration. I think Tigers fans all across the land are they all when that bat connected with the ball. You know what I think of? I think of go to the movie Moneyball. Remember like that the Scott Hatterberg home run, and then Brad Pitt, who was playing Billy Bean, he's sitting in the wherever he was in the weight room or whatever, and then Scott Hatterberg hit the ball, and then Brad Pitt just goes. That's what happened with Javier Baez today. When that bat connected with the ball, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Javier Baez just hit a home run! Unbelievable! Can't believe it." Kana had a 2-run double today. Everyone else is, besides Riley Green, Matt Vierling, Carpenter. Everyone else is slumping right now, right? Torkelson's got to get it going. Pitching has been looking all right. They are 25th. They were 25th in FIP coming into today. But Jack Flaherty, he looked awesome on the mound today. Skubal, Maeda, they looked good in their last start. Skubal had not a bad start against Oakland, but he was not his bet. He was saying, he was a bit frustrated about that start. But he did all right this past week. One thing about the Tigers, they are first in defense on the year. The Tigers defense right now is looking fantastic. But yeah, I'm okay with the Tigers at number 16. Number 15, my Red Sox. I'm going smack dab in the middle right now for the Red Sox. You know what? Everyone coming into the year, everyone's down on the Red Sox, right? And, I wasn't too sure what to think of. I thought the Red Sox were better than what people were making them out to be. I didn't really see a playoff appearance, but I saw a team that could be in contention, hanging around, maybe September. I wasn't really sure what to think of the Red Sox as a contender, but I saw a better team than what people were making them out to be. And they started off really well, right? They look great, right? Sure, they're playing some couple of weaker teams, right? The Mariners have gotten off to a really bad start. The Angels here, they've taken them to town in both of their series. But then they went up against Baltimore, and they got absolutely wrecked, right? The Orioles showed them what a good baseball team in the American League East is, right? The Orioles... And we'll talk about the Yankees, too. They're the class of that division right now. They got taken to town, man. Colton Cowser. I love the new nickname for Colton Cowser. Has anyone heard the nickname for Colton Cowser? The Milkman. Unbelievable nickname. Fantastic. It took me, I don't know why it took me a second. I was like, the Milkman. Oh, cow, right? Amazing nickname. Please, we need more nicknames like this. The Milkman. He went absolutely bananas against my Red Sox in that series. But as for the Red Sox, after that tough series, first homestand, they got it together, took 2 out of 3 against the Angels. But the defense against Baltimore as well, horrible defense. They lost Trevor Story against the Angels last week, or a week and a half, or whatever, how long ago it was, last weekend. And God, has it really been that long now, right? Their defense has just completely fallen apart since Story's been out, right? They've had all these guys in the infield coming in, Pablo Reyes is making a couple of errors, Emmanuel Valdez, the list goes on and on, right? Devers, Devers hasn't even played, right? Devers has been out with a bumped shoulder. A lot of injuries right now with the Red Sox. Vaughn Grissom, he is on a rehab stint now, but, he's still got Rob Refsnyder out. Romy Gonzalez, he's got something going on now with the hand or the wrist. I can't remember exactly. Nick Pivetta, that was a hit. He goes on the IL with a flexor strain in the elbow. Isaiah Campbell in the bullpen. He's got a bit of a shoulder issue right now. The Red Sox, all of a sudden, they were looking great. And then all of a sudden, they got hit with injuries and everything was just falling apart. But they got themselves together against the Angels this weekend, sorry. But I think also Devers being out, I think just affected the flow of the lineup. But now Tristan Casas, Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill is off to an incredible start. My goodness. Tyler O'Neill is looking like Manny freaking Ramirez out there. Tristan Casas, Tyler O'Neill. I mean, they're looking like Big Papi and Manny Ramirez right now. What a 1-2 punch. I'm just saying. Yoshida finally homering today. He looks like maybe he's getting it going a little bit. The offense without Devers, though, they're going to need Devers back. But the starting pitching has been the story with the Red Sox. I know I feel like I'm going a little long right now. But Brian Bayo, he wasn't amazing today, but he got through, right? He pitched well enough to get through it today. Cutter Crawford, Whitlock, they did pitch well against the Orioles, but no run support. Cooper Criswell, he pitched all right this weekend. Tanner Houck, he got rocked on Friday, though, so, Kenley Jansen, this was the story, the newsworthy story coming out of today. Getting his 424th save. He is now 5th all-time, tied with John Franco for all-time saves. He's only behind Mariano Rivera, Trevor Hoffman, Lee Smith, and K-Rod Francisco Rodriguez. Kenley Jansen. I mean, he's kind of one of like those guys, right? He's not Mariano Rivera, but he's just over time steadily just put together all of these saves, right? And I think it's also, we think of Kenley Jansen in the playoffs with how many times he just coughed up a lead. And it's like, I feel like he's quietly just moved into this position and we all didn't even realize it. But now he's tied for 5th all time. I'm just saying. But that's all I got for my Red Sox. 15 for this week. I think that's a good spot. 14, we got the Reds. Honestly, I could see us. I could see maybe people putting them up higher than this. I'll stay with 14. Did lose 2 out of 3 to the Brewers. Swept the White Sox. Right now, the offense, it's okay. Middle of the road, about 18th in WRC plus coming into today. But they did well today as well. So they're going to get bumped up in those standings. Starting pitching FIP is looking great. Nick Lodolo, first start in a year against the White Sox. He looked fantastic. 5 2/3, 10 strikeouts. Andrew Abbott also looked great against the White Sox. 7 innings, 1 earned. Again, it's the White Sox. They are number 30 on this to start off power rankings for this year. But Hunter Green, Ashcraft, they got knocked around a little bit, though, so keep an eye on them. However, Ellie De La Cruz, this guy's red hot. Remember, he was red hot last year as well, and now he's doing similar things to what he was doing last year. He's hitting over 400 with over 1,000 on the slugging the last 7 games. This guy's red hot. 4 home runs in his last 7 coming into today. Ellie De La Cruz, have yourself some ice cream tonight, my friend. 23rd in relief pitching, 20th in defense, right? That bullpen was a strength last year for them, so they got to clean that up a little bit. Defense, 20th, got to clean that up a little bit as well. But overall, I like this Reds team. 14 might be a bit high for some people, but I'll stick with that. Number 13, we got the Padres. Actually, how are the Padres looking here tonight? They were, I think, down a little earlier. Oh, Padres, they have taken the lead. Oh, my goodness, everyone. The Padres, they have taken the lead here. I wasn't really paying attention to this. And the Padres, they were down, I think, 3-1, and they have just completely come alive here. Well, let's just go check on this. What ended up happening? Wow. Okay, so yeah, the Dodgers, they were off to, I think they were up 3-1. All right, so the Padres had a big 6th inning and a 7th inning. All right, so let's go to that. So Luis Campusano, that a run scored on a double play. Jackson Merrill's off to a great start this year. He's playing pretty well. Had a big hit the other night, too. So he singled to tie the game. And then Jerickson Profar cleared the bases with a double. How about the San Diego Padres? Right now the game is still going on. This is kind of one of the reasons I've thought about doing power rankings Monday mornings, is because you got to wait for these games to get done, right? But it is the bottom of the 8th. It's almost done. But right now, it's looking like a Padres win. So could you maybe see the Padres maybe getting bumped up a little bit here? I don't know. Let's get back to the rankings here. But right now, I'll stay with the Padres at 13. That's where I had them coming into tonight. So maybe let me know. Let me know in the chat. Do you think they should be bumped up a little bit if they end up winning tonight? But here's my notes for the Padres. Hey, winning 2 out of 3 against the Cubs and the Dodgers. So that's a pretty good week. The Cubs are a good-looking team right now. They had a big comeback against the Dodgers the other night. Down 7-3, ended up pulling it off. Man, oh man. Jackson Merrill, this guy's good. Had a game-winning hit against the Dodgers on Friday. Tatis had a couple of homers. Cronenworth with a few homers this week. Machado, Kim, homering this week. Padres offense looking pretty good. 9th in WRC plus coming into today. Starting pitching a little up and down. You've had, it looks like Darvish ended up pitching pretty well tonight. Let me double check on that. So Darvish, it was okay. He went 5 innings, 3 earned. Still, he's not that same Yu Darvish though, man. I need that nasty Yu Darvish to come back. But Matt Waldron, he's actually looked pretty good so far in the first couple of starts of this year. Dylan Cease, 7 strikeouts over 6 innings against the Cubs. That's looking like a pretty good pickup so far. Padres are playing some good defense as well. 5th in defense on the year so far. Bullpen ranks 19th. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Do you think the Padres should be bumped up a little higher here? And yeah, I see you in the chat as well. Little E. Yeah, the Padres, they got to Yamamoto. Actually, what was that line? I had that on the notes. I wouldn't say that he got spanked, Little E. He was 3 earned, 5 innings. That's not terrible by any means. But yeah, okay. I see a couple of you saying looks like a good spot for the Padres at number 13. Yeah, I could see the argument though. I could see the argument after if they can pull this win off. I could see them maybe bumping up to 12 or 11 possibly. So at number 12. We got the Pirates. How about the Pirates? Splitting with the Phillies this weekend. Man, oh man, they had a big 6th inning today. 5 runs in that inning. Jack Sawinski with the grand slam. Joey Bart is alive and well, my friends. Home run today. Andrew McCutchen, speaking of home runs, 300th home run today. Gotta love that. They were getting some good pitching. This year. Marco Gonzalez was one of them. Marco Gonzalez was looking okay before he went down with a bit of a forearm issue. 5 earned, 17 innings. He had a good start against the Phillies as well. He only gave up 2 runs in 6 against the Phillies. He was looking good, but he's going on the IL with the forearm issue. So what do you know? Another pitcher going on the IL. What is going on with these pitchers this year, man? Paul Skeens, do not expect Paul Skeens to come up, right? They're being careful with him. They're slowly building him up in the minor leagues. I think that's the right move. I've been seeing people say, okay, here we go, Paul Skeens. Let's get this guy up. No, hold the phone. Relax. Paul Skeens, he will be up at some point. I do think you'll see him up at some point in the second half, but no, they're not going to rush this guy just because Marco Gonzalez is going on the IL. But Keller, he looked great. Mitch Keller, great start against the Tigers. 9 strikeouts over 6. Martin Perez. What is up with Martin Perez? Anytime he just goes to a new team, he just produces. I don't know what it is. 8 innings, 1 earned against the Tigers. Jared Jones. Jared Jones has been a good story so far this year. 6+ innings, 8 strikeouts in his last start. Just saying, man. Falter, 5 innings, 1 earned against the Phillies. They're getting good pitching. Gotta love that. They just need to start hitting a bit more, right? You're getting, Brian Reynolds is hitting, Triolo Olivares is hitting. They're just not getting a whole big contribution, right? O'Neal Cruz, he's definitely shown some stuff this year so far. But remember with the Pirates last year, like a part of me wanted to go Pirates top 10, but remember last year, I just brought it up earlier. I think I had did I even have them top 5 last year in the first power rankings? I think I might have, but I'm going to hold the phone with the Pirates a little bit. I'm going to go 12 for right now. I'm going to go 12. And Nick, I actually think there is an argument. When you look at all the numbers where they rank, I think you could say they could be a little lower, but hey, they're getting the wins and splitting with the Phillies. Yeah, Phillies are a good team, right? We'll talk about the Phillies in just a little bit. And rounding out this tier, we got the Texas Rangers. Man, what's going on with this Rangers team right now? They're just dropping series left and right. Losing some games to the Astros, losing 2 out of 3 to Oakland. Oakland is on fire right now, so everyone's losing to Oakland. Oakland's winning the World Series this year, my goodness. But the Rangers offense still looks great. Adolis Garcia, Carter, Heim, Smith, they're all hitting well. The pitching, it's actually not been bad, right? Cody Bradford, he pitched well in his last start, but now he's going on the IL with a bum back. There's Cole Winn. He's going to get called up. He'll end up making his MLB debut, so look out for him. Michael Lorenzen, speaking of debuts, he's going to come up as well. Or he's going to join the team, making his first start on Monday, Michael Lorenzen. Nathan Eovaldi, though, got knocked around today. He pitched well in his last start against Oakland, but yeah, he got knocked around. Gray, he pitched well against the A's in a loss. He struck out 9, only give up an earned run. So, the Rangers right now, you want to talk World Series hangover, they feel like they're going through a World Series hangover right now, right? They don't feel like they're fully there right now. They got some good things going on, but then there's some other things, and it just feels like they haven't fully gotten the equilibrium together. Is that the right word? I don't know. But the defense is still really good. They're second in defense on the year. So, but yeah, Rangers, number 11. Daniel Mears, I see you. Rangers shouldn't be in the top 15. I can see that argument. But you know what? I'm still going to give the Rangers due respect. Hey, and this is coming from me where I wasn't too high on the Rangers coming into this year. And I had Rangers fans in my comments saying, well, why do you hate the Rangers so much? Hey, listen, they just, they got a good team, right? They do have a good team, right? And they are doing some good things, right? They're 5th in WRC plus right now. The offense, they're still banging, man. They're still banging. Everyone, before I get to the top 10, I do just want to go over tonight's sponsor, and that is BetUS. Everyone, the link is in the description down below. While I'm getting this ready, everyone, if you can, all I ask is just hit the like button for me. That is all I ask. And if you are new, think about subscribing down below. Make sure that bell notification's turned on. Share the show. Let's get some more people in here for the top 10. And everyone, let's get to our sponsor here real quick. So, hey, just taking a look here. And right now, when it comes to BetUS, right? So, if you go on right now, you're not going to have any in-game props at the moment because obviously it's 10:40 on the East Coast here. So, no in-game stuff as of right now. But tomorrow morning, there will be for sure. Every single day, there's so many different ways to bet, right? To whether it's game props, player props, there's just go on there tomorrow morning and it's going to be just, my goodness, through the roof. So many different ways to play. But if you go on there right now, you can go look at some futures picks. So let's go look. Let's see what the updated odds are for right now. So as of right now, the Dodgers still holding strong at plus 300. They were the odds-on favorite coming into this year. Braves still at plus 450. We got the Astros at plus 900. But I don't know, man. The Astros, listen, man. The way the Astros have gone off this year, that might not be a great bet to do. But, hey, listen. My pick, I was telling a lot of you, if you wanted to make I think a good, value pick, listen, the Orioles at plus 1,100, that's not bad, right? I think the Orioles could definitely make some noise this year. The Yankees at plus 800. We'll talk about the Yankees in a little bit. They're playing great. So, but who knows? How about the Oakland A's? Listen, I saw some of you in the chat. It's not me coming up with this idea. I'm just looking at what some of you said in the chat. Could you imagine the Oakland A's just went on like the biggest storybook run? Don't make this bet. Don't do it. It's not responsible. But But my goodness, if you were feeling frisky, I mean, you could go do this, right? Whoops, that's not right. But just saying, right? If you wanted to go for just a complete, what's the right word? I can't think of the word. The biggest underdog pick of all time, could you go Oakland? It's not going to happen. I'm just saying. But maybe you are feeling good about a couple of these teams. So you could definitely go place a bet right now. So definitely go check it out. But always play responsibly. We all know the news that's been circulating around Major League Baseball for the last couple of weeks when it comes to a certain interpreter out there. So make sure you're playing responsibly. That is the big thing at the end of the day, right? You had the Masters on this past weekend, so golf is always going on. You got hockey right now, basketball right now, whole bunch of different ways to play. And also, everyone, I do want to just make you aware, BetUS is doing this. I haven't seen anything like this. I have not seen anything like this. But right now, BetUS, they are doing a contest. I can't believe this is even a contest. It's so crazy to me. They are looking for the biggest wiener connoisseur in America. So here's what's going on here. So right now, they're doing a contest, right? So if you go here to this website, betus.pa/MLB/how big is your wiener? I am so sorry that I have to say that. Please, children, cover your ears. But right now they're doing a contest. So if you just go onto this site, you just type in your name, email, what state you live in, but then also type out something, why they should pick you to be the wiener connoisseur, they could send you on a trip of a lifetime. I'm just saying. You get to go up to 3 Major League Baseball stadiums of your pick. They give you $2,500 in cash for all the travel expenses, hotel, flight, whatever, food, whatever else. You get a $500 gift card for the MLB gift shop, and then you get a 1-year subscription to MLB TV. Right, so they literally pay for all the travel expenses. You get a gift card wherever game you go to. You can go use it there. And then when you get home, you get to watch some MLB TV. So basically what this is, when you get to these stadiums, when they fly you out and when, you are there at a game, all you got to do is basically you got to measure the hot dog. You got to get the diameter, the length. You got to weigh it, and then the price, right? So they're just looking to see who's got the biggest and best hot dog at some of these major league stadiums. I'm just saying. So go check it out. They got this fun contest going on. If you are into the idea, it's really simple to sign up. You just go type in your info here and then go tell them why you should be the wiener connoisseur. And hey, at the end of the day, they're paying for you. You get to go up to 3 Major League Baseball stadiums. That is pretty cool. So all the terms and conditions are here as well. So if you want to go, just go look at those. They are there. But again, BetUS, that is our sponsor. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring tonight's show and sponsoring the first power rankings of the year. And make sure you go back on tomorrow. You're going to have all the in-game props, all the player props that will pop up for tomorrow. So go check it out, everyone. Here we go. On to the top 10. On to the top 10. Let's do this, shall we? All right, at number 10. At number 10, we have... Where are we? Here we go. Here we go. We got the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs. They had a down start to the week, losing 2 out of 3 to the Padres, but then they picked it back up and they got it going against the Mariners, right? Starting pitching actually ranks really well right now. 4th in starting pitching FIP. Imanaga is looking great. Wow, what a pickup Imanaga is looking like, man. What a pick. What a pickup. Wow. No earned runs. 15 and a third innings pitched so far. This guy hasn't given up a run. Imanaga is on a great start to this year. Ben Brown, he got called up. He looked great against the Padres. He pitched into the 5th inning. So Ben Brown, he's off to a pretty decent start. Javier Assad, he looked good against the Mariners today. Offense is doing all right, too. 13th in WRC+. plus. Michael Busch right now, this guy, he's off to a great start. Had a home run today as well, hitting over 300 with 1,000 OPS. Just saying, man, Michael Busch, I like that. When they picked him up, I was glad that he was going to get a chance to play. And because this is a guy that was putting up great numbers in the minor leagues, and he's showing what he can do with the Cubs. Sai Suzuki, he's hitting all right. You are getting some guys slumping in this offense, though, lately. Bellinger, Swanson, Morel, Happ, they've been slumping. Bellinger did have an RBI base hit today, so maybe he's starting to come out of that funk a little bit. Bullpen's been okay, 13th in relief pitching fib. Defense needs to clean it up, though, 24th in defense. So, they're just getting a bit of inconsistency in the offense right now, but the pitching, they have been pitching pretty good for the most part this year. At number 9, speaking of pitching, got the Phillies. They have been pitching well. The Phillies have been getting some great pitching. Aaron Nola had a quality start and a win his last time out against the Cardinals. Zach Wheeler, Sanchez, they did take L's this week, but they both pitched well. So the Phillies starting pitching, we all know what they can do. Right, so they're going to pitch. The offense is the problem right now with the Phillies. And I could see people saying I got the Phillies too high, but this is more, for me, I just feel like the Phillies, they're going to get out of this funk with the offense because they have the bats. They're going to wake up eventually. Harper's been slumping, had a couple of hits this weekend, but they're not really just, this offense is not firing right now on all cylinders. Schwarber, Bohm, Turner had a homer today. They've been hitting pretty well for the most part. Bullpen has actually been really good too. 3rd in relief pitching FIP. Keckering also coming off the IL. He was having some forearm issues. So they're 9th in defense. They rank well in pretty much all of the numbers minus the offense right now, right? So that's why I do have them at this spot and in the top 10. I think this Phillies team, they're just going to wake up at some point, and they're going to be good. So, number 8, Diamondbacks, they got off to a bit of a slow start, but they're starting to pick up some wins now. 2 out of 3 against the Rockies and the Cardinals this week. 11th in WRC+. Christian Walker, Gurriel, Carroll, they're all hitting well. Marte, Suarez, they are slumping, though. Suarez did have a home run this weekend, so let's see if that can lead to more. Pitching has been pretty good for the most part. Gallen did take a loss against the Rockies, but he struck out 10. Pitched well today against the Cardinals. Ryan Nelson looked good against the Cardinals, 6+ innings. Merrill Kelly looked good against the Rockies. Jordan Montgomery making his debut this Friday against the Giants. Bullpen ranked 7th overall. Defense, though. Good defensive team last year. 22nd so far, though. So they got to clean up this defense a little bit. But the Diamondbacks, number 8 overall. Number 7, got the Braves. I actually thought this might be low, but then when I really looked, I was like, you know what? I'll go 7. I know I'm probably ticking some Braves fans off here. I probably already shocked some of you. Sound FX, where are you in this chat? Where are you? CJ LaChapelle saying boo. Listen, I know. But right now, that series loss against the Mets, it just didn't rub me the right way, man. Did not rub me the right way. Just didn't do a whole lot for me there. And it wasn't that they just lost that series. They got pounded in that last game. So I'm just saying. I could see the argument for bumping them up, though. It's okay. Relax. If you're in the top 10, you're a good team. It's okay. I will say this, though. The Braves, 1st in WRC plus on the year. Ozuna, clutch home run today in the 9th inning. Huge. Ozuna, I think people just forget how good Ozuna is. Riley Albies, they've been hitting well. Duvall, Red Sox legend, home run today. But a part of why they bumped down a little bit for me, it's also the loss of Strider, right? Listen, when you lose your ace, and I know you got Max Fried, I know that, but you just lost Spencer Strider for the entire year. I mean, that did come into play with putting them at 7. That's a big loss. I don't care who you are or what team you are. When you lose a guy of that caliber, that hurts. That hurts. It's funny. You go back to the offseason, and they were going after Dylan Cease. Celtics guru, what is WRC plus? It's weighted runs created. It's basically, it takes everything into account of just everything you do offensively, right? It's just how you're creating those runs when it comes to the extra base hits, the base running as well, right? Not the base running, but yeah, Fangraphs, that is the stat that they look to when it comes to just what you're doing with the bat to create runs, right? And you're also factoring in park factor as well. So yeah, I think WRC plus is probably the best offensive stat. Where was I? Strider out for the year. You go back to the Dylan Cease rumors from this offseason. Man, I know they got Chris Sale, but that's tough. Now they're probably thinking, man, really wish we got that Dylan Cease trade done. That's tough. That's really tough. Speaking of Chris Sale, 5 earned, 7 innings against the Marlins. So Chris Sale, he looked pretty good the first couple of starts, but, got bounced around against the Marlins a little bit. Fried looked good against the Marlins, though. 6 1/3, 1 earned. Reynaldo Lopez, he picked up the win against the Mets, the one win they got in the series. He looked pretty good there. Charlie Morton, he was kind of, he was all right. It wasn't terrible, wasn't great today, but, they're going to need this rotation to step up, man. That's so big. You lose Strider like that. That's tough. I think at some point they're going to have to try and acquire someone. They're going to have to go after someone for that rotation because that's a big loss. Big loss. Luckily, they got Shawver, right? So they got a couple. You got Elder, right? So you got a couple of guys that could step in, but, losing him. Hurston Waldrop, let's see if he can make it up to the majors this year. He would be a big boost if he could make it. So let's see. Bullpen, they've been pretty good for the most part. They had a bad night Monday against the Mets. Minter, he had a blown save. Pierce Johnson taking the L. The Braves, hey, listen, I picked the Braves to win the World Series this year, all right? So, I got them at 7. Sound FX, $10. Good call with the Braves out of the top 5. Exchange wins and losses all week. Starting pitching is now a major concern. Strider done. Fried slow. Sale, no run support. Morton aged. Braves need another ace. Let's see if they can do it. You got to think they would probably love someone like Jesus Luzardo, man. Would the Marlins trade in division? They would love him. They would love him. But can they get it done? We'll see. Thank you, SoundFX, for that super chat. Greatly appreciate that, my friend. At number 6, we got the Orioles. I was all over the Orioles earlier when I was talking about the Red Sox. Swept them. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Brewers, though. All right? So the Baltimore, man. Hey, Brewers took them to town. I'm just saying. Rematch. Or not rematch, sorry. Corbin Burns hooking back up with his old team. Just saying. But the Orioles offense, they've been great. They were 10th in WRC plus coming into this year. Colton Cowser, like I mentioned earlier, he's been mashing. Westberg, Mountcastle, they've been mashing. Jackson Holliday got his first hit. Hey, help with the Orioles today. So Mullins hitting well. Offense is great. The Orioles' offense is great. 20th in starting pitching on the FIP. Burns. Just making sure. So Burns against my Red Sox, absolutely. He got the Red Sox at the most perfect time, right? You didn't have Devers. Offense was just laid out to rest, basically. My goodness. Unbelievable. Corbin Burns, I was watching that. I'm like, this guy's just filthy. It's just so stupid. But Burns today, the final line for him, he went up against Rhea. He did all right today, Rhea. He went to the 6th inning. But Burns, they're both roughly around the same. He went 5 innings, 2 earned today. So, hey, Corbin Burns. But Orioles picking up the win against the Brewers there. And where was I with my notes? Grayson Rodriguez. Sorry, everyone. I feel like my brain is not working right now. Grayson Rodriguez. He also looked really good against the Red Sox this week. Kyle Bradish going on a rehab start this week. Good news for the Orioles. Good news. Bullpen, they've been looking solid. Craig Kimbrell came back to Fenway the other night. He was still giving me heart attacks. And he wasn't even in a Red Sox uniform. I don't know what it is. Craig Kimbrell, he has ruined me. Defense has been great. 8th in defense. So, Orioles, hey, they're playing good ball. They didn't look amazing against the Brewers in this series, but, hey, they still look great. Got the win today. Number 5. Honestly, this is kind of, I could see the argument for maybe putting the Orioles maybe a little higher here. I could see the argument. But then I will say this. I think because with the Orioles, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. They did sweep the Red Sox, but then they lost 2 out of 3 to the Brewers. I got to give credit, man. I got to give credit to the Guardians. They're playing some good baseball. I know. They lost their series to the Yankees, but you know what? They had a great win today. They were back and forth all day today. Got the win in extras. They look good today. They look good. 1, 2 out of 3 against the White Sox, but they got off to a great start this year. Pitching has been pretty solid for the most part, even though they lost Bieber. Oh, such a tough loss because he was looking really good. But Carrasco, McKenzie didn't look great against the Yankees, but the other guys have been stepping up. Logan Allen, though, he did get hit hard against the White Sox, but the bullpen has looked great. Bullpen has been fantastic. They are first in FIP on the year so far. We all know this Guardians bullpen can play. As for the offense, though, the offense was the question mark coming into this year, and they're hitting. Naylor has been going crazy. 3 home runs, over a 300 WRC plus over the last 7 games. Stephen Kwan is doing Stephen Kwan kind of things, hitting over 400 in his last 7. Jose Ramirez, he's not hitting his stride yet, but that's even better for this offense because they've been hitting well, and they scored a lot of runs today, and they've been doing it all really without Jose Ramirez. Estevan Florial hitting his first home run as a Guardian. Gotta love that. Just saying, hey, you know what? Give the Guardians some credit, man. They got off to a good start this year. And let's see if they can keep this going. And again, it's early. I know some people might be rolling their eyes at this. But, hey, run differential's great so far, 10-5. Hey, I'm going to give the Guardians their flowers right now. Off to a good start. But it's April 14th. Let's see if they can keep it up. Right. Number 4, I got the Royals. We're having fun with this one, everyone. We're having fun, okay? It's April 14th. But I'm giving the Royals their flowers right now. Wow, what a great start. Yeah, I know they lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. I know. So back off, okay? Back off. But they wrecked the Astros. They wrecked them. I mean, that's saying they put up how many runs against that team? It was like almost 30 runs over that series. Their offense has been great. 7th in WRC+. plus. Bobby Wick Jr. with a couple of home runs this week. Pasquantino's been red hot. Hunter Renfroe's hitting well. Both have an OPS over 1,100. Just saying. Reagan's, he looked good against the Mets today. The offense just didn't come up with any runs today. The Mets just shut them down today. But Reagan's, listen, I thought about going with Reagan's as my Cy Young pick. I should have. I knew. I regret not doing it. I went with Scooble. Reagan's was a guy I was really thinking about. I knew I should have done it. I'm going to regret it. Cole Rain's going to win the Cy Young this year. I don't know what it is. He just looks good. He was so good in the second half last year. And I should have done it. I should have done it. I should have done it. Scooble, please start pitching well. But he looked good against the Mets. 6 innings, 8 Ks. He went, 5 innings, 3 earned against the Astros. But he's looking great. Defense is 6 overall. So this is what I mean. This is what, you probably you're looking at me like I got 3 heads. The Royals at number 4. Are you kidding me? 7th in WRC+, 1st in starting pitching, 6th in defense. Hey, the numbers speak for themselves. Bullpen is not at their full strength, right? 18th in FIP overall. But whatever. They're getting the job done, right? That's FIP, right? ERA is looking better. As for the rest of the rotation, Lugo, Singer, and Marsh all picked up wins in the last 7 days. I'm giving the Royals their flowers. I'm doing it. If you don't like it, too bad. Jimmy Productions, $4.99. Do you think the Nationals will be in the range of the Marlins and White Sox and potentially get the number 1 pick to draft Ethan Holiday? I mean, how crazy would that be, right? You'd have, Washington, Baltimore, not very far away from each other, right? That'd be crazy, right? Jackson Holiday with the Orioles, Ethan Holiday with the Nationals. I mean, that'd be pretty fun. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think the Nationals, I saw coming into this year, they weren't bad last year. They weren't really that bad, right? They weren't good, but they weren't terrible. They showed some promise with some things last year, but I see a better year for them this year. I don't know. I still think they're going to end up having a top 10 pick. I don't know. Maybe not number 1. We'll see. But they definitely could be in that contention. We'll see. At number 3. I do got the Dodgers. I know they lost it tonight. I know. They just lost to the Padres. But the Dodgers, they rank really well. They rank really well in a lot of stats. They're 6th in WRC+. Ohtani has a slugging. He had a slugging at 1,000 over his last 7 coming into today. How did he do tonight? How did Ohtani do tonight? 1,000 slugging over the last 7 games? Are you kidding me? Let me see. What did Ohtani do tonight? He had to have played, right? Sunday Night Baseball. 1 for 4, 2 Ks. All right. But yeah, OPS over 1,000, hitting 338. Are you kidding me right now? Look at the top. Look at Betts and Ohtani. Betts hitting 357. Ohtani hitting 338. OPS at 1.163 for Betts. Ohtani over 1,000. What a 1-2 punch. Freeman is Freeman. Will Smith hitting great. Muncy, he's banging so far this year. Teoscar Hernandez is looking revitalized this year. This lineup is nasty. I'm just saying. Even Outman looked pretty good the other day. Tyler Glasnow, I already talked about it earlier. He was amazing against the Twins. Unbelievable. 14 strikeouts? Are you kidding me? Gavin Stone had a perfect game going against the Padres the other night. Ended up finishing with a solid line, 6 2/3, 3 earned, 4 Ks. Had the brush back with Jerickson Profar. I don't know. I didn't really see a big deal with it. I know guys don't really like, ball coming up and in. I saw what Gavin Stone was doing because Profar is a tough at bat. I understood it. Like, he was just trying to get him off the plate, trying to make him a little uncomfortable. I didn't really see any harm with it. I don't know. I'm just saying. iTalk Studios is here. What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Paxton, 6 innings, 2 earned against the Twins this past series against them. Yamamoto, I mentioned it earlier. He was okay against the Padres, 5 innings, 3 earned. Bobby Miller, though, going on the IL with some shoulder inflammation. What do you know? Another pitcher going through some injuries. Unbelievable. We're down to the top 2. We got the Brewers at number 2. How about the Brewers, everyone? Winning 2 out of 3 against the Reds and the Orioles. Hey, didn't get it done today. That's all right. But Third in offense on the year. That was the one thing with the Brewers over the last couple of years. The offense is, I don't know, like just whatever the last couple of years, but they're third in WRC+. Christian Yelich, he's been awesome. Contreras, he's been awesome. He was awesome last year, and he's keeping it going this year. They've been on fire, both with a WRC+ over 200 the last 7. Sal Frelick, Turang, Ortiz, those guys have been hitting really well. Great bats for the Milwaukee Brewers. And it's funny with the Brewers because we always think pitching, right? But now they're kind of more middle of the road. 16th in starting pitching coming into today. Peralta, Ross, they've been pitching well. Rhea, he did okay today. He pitched well against the Mariners too. Bullpen's been all right, 14th overall. Yeah, they're going to need Devin Williams back at some point, but third in defense, Brewers are looking good. I like what the Brewers have been doing. Good start. And at number 1, I hate that I'm doing this. We got the Yankees at number 1. Hey, the Yankees are looking great. They're looking good. What else there to say? Yeah, I know they got the loss today, and everyone was, I saw people complaining about the Nestor Cortez thing. Listen, you know what? I don't care about the Nestor Cortez, doing all the funky moves on the mound. It's like, just let the guy, I don't know. I saw someone on Twitter today saying it has to be against the rules, like what he's doing. Listen, if it was against the rules, I would imagine, well, I don't know, the way umpires are, who knows if they even catch anything, but I would imagine it sticks out like a sore thumb so much that they would probably say something to him. But if he's not breaking any rules, if they're not saying anything to him, and it's like, whatever, let the man just do his funky stuff on the mound, all right? Listen, just have some fun, okay? And this is coming from a Red Sox fan. Just let the man do his stuff, all right? I don't remember who it was that was complaining about it, but it's like, who cares? Just let him pitch. It's like, goodness gracious. But yeah, the Yankees, listen, they're looking good, all right? And this is coming from the guy that's had to deal with the Yankees for over 20 years now, all right? 25 years. I'm just saying. They're looking good. And I said when coming into this year, like that first weekend, it looks like a different Yankee team. Just the feel, just the vibe about this Yankee team. It almost has a bit of a taste of what those 2000 Yankees were like, right? That early to mid 2000 Yankees teams. Soto coming in completely changed it. He completely changed the culture. He's been going off. 2 home runs this week. Verdugo, Cabrera, Stanton, they've been hot. Volpe, people need to talk about Anthony Volpe more. Anthony Volpe has been awesome. He had a game-tying hit today. He's been hitting great. Coming into today, or actually was this, I think these are their updated numbers, hitting 340 with a 960 OPS. Anthony Volpe is awesome right now. So good. Aaron Judge, 3-run home run today. Still hitting around 200, but a 135 WRC+. Gotta love that. Bullpen's been good. The FIP is a little higher than the ERA for the bullpen, but it is what it is. Starting pitching, even without Garrett Cole, they've been good. Nestor Cortez, Rodon, they've been pitching well for the most part. What was Cortez's final line today? I know he pitched well his last time out. He was okay today. He wasn't anything crazy. 4 innings, 4 earned, 6 Ks, couple of home runs. But he's been pretty solid. His last outing was against the Marlins. He went 8 shutout innings, and he pitched well against the Diamondbacks before that. He took the loss, but he didn't pitch terrible. He gave up 8 hits. But, Cortez, he's doing all right so far. He's doing all right. Rodon, right? He's been picking it up. Schmidt, Poteet, I think I'm saying that right. They picked up the wins this week. The Yankees, to me, out of all of the teams, I feel like they feel the most balanced right now. They're getting the bats. They're getting the pitching. They got the star power too. They feel like the appropriate number one right now. But Jim, ball cap, my goodness. I know, right? Look at my top 10. You go away for a little bit and you're like, what the heck just happened with these power rankings, man? Oh, yeah. Take a look at that. We got the Royals at number 4. You don't even know what the heck's going on right now. But yeah, when I think of the Yankees right now, when I think of the numbers, when I look at the record, when I look at the star power, right now at this point in time, they feel like the best team in baseball right now. It's April 14th, everyone. It's April 14th. We have a super chat coming in. Jimmy Productions, $1.99. How do you think Mitchell Parker will do in his debut? Is he, let me see, hold on. That is, how is he doing so far? So he only had one start in AAA. Okay. Yeah, he was doing all right there. But right now, so he is, last year, at the end of the year report, he was 29th. Hey, lefty, hey, let's see what he can do. He's looked okay in the minors. AA last year had a 4.20 ERA, but the FIP was lower at a 3.52. Gets a good amount of strikeouts. Has a good curveball. Has some velocity there. So it looks like the walks are a bit of an issue for him. Well, let's see. Let's see how he does. Okay. The Nationals, this is their time to start seeing what they got, right? Jimmy Productions, $1.99, stealing bases. You see Trey Lipscomb and Young. I did not catch that. My friend. Thank you for the super chats, Jimmy. Thank you. Jim Riley, pulling my thumbnail together for tomorrow. Yankees, Brave, Dodgers are going to write it out for number 1. Hey, you see me. I got the Yankees at number 1, Jim. And I know. The Braves, they feel a little low to me, but I'm more using this first week. I've already probably lost, people are probably coming into this and thinking, this guy's got the Royals at number 4. I'm never watching these power rankings ever again. I'm giving them their flowers. It's early, I've said before, I don't really like to do the power rankings until like May. It's slightly, for me at least, it feels a little off because I feel like it takes a little bit more time for these teams to really show what they are. But if I'm going to start now, people were clamoring for it. I'm going to give the teams that are off to good starts their flowers. I'm going to go Royals at 4, Guardians at 5, because this might be their only chance to be in the top 10, So, hey, the Braves, they'll be there. Orioles will be there. It'll be fine. I'm actually seeing a couple of people in the chat. Saying the Pirates should be in the top 10. I went Pirates at number 12. Ladies and gentlemen. I thought the Pirates, when I'm looking at the numbers so far, the Pirates, I don't know. They were a little lower when you looked at all the where they ranked when it came to pitching and when it came to their offense. I don't know. I want to see a little more from the Pirates. They burned me last year when I put them in the top 10. I'm just saying. So, just saying. Everyone, I'm going to wrap this up. Those are my power rankings. Thank you for joining me. We got to around 300 people. That's a good start for the first power rankings of the year. I wasn't even sure if we were even going to hit around like 200 or 250 tonight. So, hey, good to see. Got off to a good start. So, always enjoy everyone coming on by. Jim, thank you for stopping by tonight. iTalk Studios, thank you for stopping by. Everyone else, thank you for stopping by. Thank you to all the members that stopped in. Thank you for super chats tonight. That's always greatly appreciated. But, hey, this is the first of many power rankings for this year. It's always fun to make people grumpy in the comments. Everyone, if you can on the way out, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification. Share the show for the replay viewers. We did hit our goal of 100 likes. We are 5 likes away from 200. So if you can hit that like button, I will love you forever and then some. Here we go, everyone. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for stopping by tonight. Always greatly appreciated. Have a good week this coming week. I have a video coming out tomorrow. Check that out. I'm going to try and start pumping it up a little bit more on the videos now that we've got the power rankings. We're good to go with these. I've been getting ready, kind of setting up for that, this past week too. So yeah, expect a couple of videos this coming week, maybe even a few. So I'm going to try and pump that up. So have a good night, everyone. Have a good week this coming week, whether you're going to work tomorrow, going to school, whatever it may be. Enjoy it, or at least try to enjoy it. I'll talk to you next time, everyone.